All right, let's start with a quick puzzle. A bat and a ball cost $1.10 total. The bat costs exactly $1 more than the ball. So, how much does the ball cost? Go ahead, take a second. Got an answer in your head?
If the number 10 cents immediately popped into your mind, don't worry. You're in very good company. That's the answer that just feels right to almost everyone. It's intuitive. And it's also completely wrong.
That little mental shortcut you just took, that's exactly what we're digging into today. You've just had a first-hand encounter with the fast, automatic, and often invisible part of your mind that's pretty much running the show.
And if you really want to understand what just happened in your head, the best guide out there comes from Nobel Prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman. His masterpiece, Thinking Fast and Slow, isn't just some book. It is, genuinely, the closest thing we have to an owner's manual for our own brains.
The way Kahneman explains it all is brilliant. He says to picture your mind as a stage with two main characters, two systems that are always interacting, sometimes cooperating, and sometimes fighting for control. So let's meet them. So on one side, you have System 1. This is your fast thinking. It's totally automatic, it's effortless, it's your gut reaction. It's the part of you that instantly knows 2 plus 2 is 4, or can tell someone's angry just from their tone of voice. Then on the other side, you've got System 2. This is your slow thinking. It's deliberate, it takes effort, it's logical. This is the part of you that kicks in when you have to solve a tricky math problem or carefully parallel park.
Now, what's so important to get is that System 1 isn't the bad guy. In fact, Kahneman calls it the hero of the story. It's working 24/7, generating a constant stream of suggestions, feelings, and intuitions that it passes along to System 2. And you know what? Most of the time, it works perfectly, letting us get through life without having to analyze every single tiny decision.
But here's the catch. You can't just turn System 1 off, ever. Take a look at this famous illusion. Which line looks longer? For pretty much everyone, it's the bottom one. Now, even if you took out a ruler and measured them, proving they are the exact same length, your brain would still see the bottom one as longer. Your logical System 2 now knows the truth, but it can't switch off your automatic System 1's perception. And that right there is the fundamental tension inside our minds.
So if System 1 is the impulsive hero, running on instinct, then System 2 is supposed to be its careful, rational supervisor. The only problem? System 2 is, well, incredibly lazy.
Okay, let's feel this laziness in action. Look at the column of words on the left. As fast as you can, just say whether each word is in uppercase or lowercase. Ready? Go. Pretty easy, right? Now try the column on the right. This time, say whether the word itself is on the left or the right. Go ahead. Feel that? That little hesitation, that moment of struggle? That's the feeling of your effortful System 2 having to wrestle control away from your automatic System 1, which just wants to read the words. It takes real mental energy.
And that mental energy you just used, it's not an unlimited resource. Kahneman talks about this thing called ego depletion. Think of it like a battery. Every time you use self-control or force yourself to focus, you drain that battery a little bit. And when your mental energy gets low, your lazy System 2 just kind of gives up and lets System 1 take over.
And this isn't just a fun theory. It has absolutely shocking real-world consequences. Check this out. A study of judges in Israel found that right after a meal break, they would approve parole about 65% of the time. But as the hours wore on, as they got more tired and hungry and their System 2 got depleted, that approval rate dropped all the way down to nearly 0. Think about that. The judge's lunch break could literally determine whether someone walks free.
So what happens when you have an impulsive System 1 and a lazy System 2 working together? You get what Kahneman is most famous for identifying: predictable, systematic errors in judgment. We all fall for them. He calls them heuristics and biases.
One of the biggest ones is the availability heuristic. Basically, our brain takes a shortcut. Instead of answering the difficult question, how frequent is this thing, it answers the much easier question, how easily can I think of an example? This is exactly why a single vivid news story about a shark attack can make people more afraid of sharks than of mosquitoes, even though mosquitoes are exponentially more deadly. The scary story is just more available. Let's try it ourselves. Think about the letter K. Do you think it's more likely to be the first letter of an English word or the third letter? For almost everybody, it's way easier to recall words that start with K, like kitchen, key, kind. It's a lot harder to bring to mind words where K is the third letter, like ask or acknowledge. So your System 1 jumps to the conclusion that K is more common at the beginning. But in reality, the letter K appears about 3 times more often as the third letter. Here's another huge trap our minds fall into. We prefer a good story over cold, hard statistics.
Kahneman gives this great example. Imagine a guy named Steve. He's shy, withdrawn, and has a passion for detail. Is Steve more likely to be a librarian or a farmer? Well, our System 1 immediately sees a resemblance to the stereotype of a librarian, but it completely ignores the statistical reality that there are more than 20 times as many male farmers as there are male librarians. We swap the hard probability question for the easy resemblance question.
And when you add all these mental shortcuts and biases together, you land on one of the book's most powerful and, frankly, humbling ideas. We walk around with an illusion of understanding the world, which makes us way too confident in our own judgments.
Kahneman has this fantastic acronym for it, YSIAT. It stands for What You See is All There Is. See, your System 1 is a master storyteller, but it can only work with the information it has right in front of it. It doesn't pause to ask, wait, is this all the information? Is there anything missing? Nope. It just takes whatever pieces it has and instantly weaves the most believable, coherent story it can.
And the result of YSIAT is simple. Because the story our brain tells us feels so coherent and makes so much sense, we become incredibly confident in it, even when we're dead wrong. Just think back to the bat and ball problem. The answer 10 cents felt simple, it felt coherent, so our System 1 was confident that it was the right answer. So after hearing all of this, you might be thinking, great, my brain is a mess. So what are we supposed to do about it? Well, the point isn't that fast thinking is bad. The real key is to be smarter about when to use it and when to slow down.
So here's the bottom line. System 1 is not the villain. It's the hero, remember? We need it to survive and function. The goal is not to eliminate fast thinking. That would be impossible and totally exhausting. The real goal is to train our lazy System 2 to step in more often. We need to learn to recognize the kinds of situations where our gut feelings are likely to lead us astray, like when we're dealing with numbers or making a big financial decision. When the stakes are high, that's our cue to consciously slow down, engage System 2, and double-check that easy answer that first came to mind.
So, I'll leave you with this thought. You've just met the two main characters running the show inside your head, the impulsive, automatic hero and the lazy but careful controller. The next time you face a really big decision, which one are you going to let have the final say?